is the Sky Satellite Network. You're watching Sky Movies.
Hotshot studio executive Griffin Mill
Angelica, Griffin Mill.
Oh, hi.
Welcome, Adele.
Hi, how are you?
is losing it. And someone wants him dead.
Stop all the postcards. Don't write postcards! I write them!
If you went to Pasadena with intent to kill, you could go to the gas chamber.
So he's rewriting the plot
Something I have to tell you.
and praying for a Hollywood ending. Robert Altman's The Player premieres Sunday at 8 on the Movie Channel. The Player, just one of 17 premieres you can see in January on the Movie Channel. Call 0506 460000. That's 0506 460000 now, and we'll switch you on. For Tommy Riley, being new in town
You in my seat, boy.
was like having a disease.
You got the antidote.
Who do I fight?
A guy named Black Death.
But for every fighter,
You're the boy I've been looking for.
there's one battle
This is my ticket. I ain't gonna fight you!
that takes everything he's got.
You run out on this, you better keep on running.
Gladiator premieres tonight at 10 on the Movie Channel.
From the Sky Satellite Network, this is Sky Movies.
Happy endings, rosy romances, beautiful big-name stars doing exactly what's expected of them. Everybody knows that these are the things that Hollywood does best. However, in recent years, a shadow has fallen over Tinseltown, a creeping gloom that brings with it an antidote to all those feel-good favorites. From the deep gathering darkness, a new form of subversive cinema has emerged. Mass culture movies with a wicked wit and a devilish edge. Proudly leading the Mordant March is filmmaker Tim Burton, whose pop gothic sensibility has informed his films from Beetlejuice to Batman Returns, which plays this month on the Movie Channel.
You know, I chose not to just try to, normal sequel where it's just, okay, let's take Batman and make him do more, have this and that, and just sort of chose to say, okay, this is another Batman movie, and he's in it, and these other characters are in it, and just let it take its life on its own, in a way.
We need to talk. You see, you and I have something in common.
Sounds familiar. Appetite for destruction. Contempt for the czars of fashion. Wait, don't tell me. Naked, sexual charisma.
Batman. The thorn in both our sides.
And I think the approach that I take and we all take is that it's a weird journey. You sort of treat it like a weird sculpture where we have an idea of what we want, and yet we kind of build it. We don't quite know exactly what it's going to turn out like and how it's exactly going to get there.
Admiring your handiwork. Touring the riot scene. Gravely assessing the devastation. Upstanding mayor stuff. You're not the mayor. Things change.
One of Hollywood's favorite franchises also dwells on the dark side. With The Addams Family playing on the Movie Channel in February, director Barry Sonnenfeld discovered that audiences displayed an unhealthy appetite for morbid humor.
I think what the world likes about The Addams Family and a lot of black comedies is I think the Addamses say things that we sometimes feel ourselves but feel it's impolitic or impolite to say. They say those things that we think and think, ooh, that would be a naughty thing to say. They come right out and say it, and we appreciate them for saying it.
Sing, O spirits, hearken all souls. Every year on this date we offer a clarion call to Fester Adams.
Stop it.
Pugsley. Kids.
Public's palate for the pernicious unsated, Gomez, Morticia, Fester and Wednesday were exhumed for a sequel, Addams Family Values, which is currently in British cinemas.
I describe how late at night when I'm in bed and it's raining and I hear two cars screeching to a halt outside my window, I'm anticipating the impact. And when it doesn't come, I feel a slight bit of sadness. I don't want anyone to get hurt, but there's a macabre side to, I think, or I hope, all of us. And also an anarchistic side that wishes we all could be a little less conforming to the rules of society.
It's an Addams.
That's not working, and act!
Mixing jet black humor with wacky comic book flair are directors Joe Dante and Sam Raimi. Dante's influences are the Warner Brothers Looney Tunes of Chuck Jones and Tex Avery, and his affection for the cartoon chaos of these animation innovators is carried over into his live-action films.
I told you cartoons are good. Anything can happen in them.
We've been expecting you.
Run, Ethel! Run! That's all, Ethel.
With the Gremlins movies, the first of which plays this month on Sky Movies Gold, Dante found the perfect vehicle for his anarchic sense of humor. A pair of big-budget special effects bonanzas that attained blockbuster status, despite their underlying unpleasantness.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready.
Director Sam Raimi made his debut at the age of 20 with the notorious Evil Dead. Having attracted attention with a Three Stooges-influenced sequel, Raimi found himself in the position to bring his charmingly twisted taste into the mainstream with the shadowy superhero tale Darkman.
From director Sam Raimi. Darkman.
Usually a successful picture in Hollywood has a handsome lead, and certainly Liam Neeson, the Irish-born actor, is very handsome in the first 10 minutes of the film. But then he becomes the hideous, terrible, mutilated, grotesque Darkman. I really did not think that in America it would be successful. I felt like my other films in America that it would appeal to a very small audience who wanted something a little different. But that the main audience, the audience for Pretty Woman, would not go see it. But I was mistaken.
Also inhabiting an offbeat screen world are former Sam Raimi collaborators Joel and Ethan Coen. The pair's predilection for complex plot convolutions and cynical humor is nowhere more evident than in Barton Fink, the Coen brothers' award-winning classic, which plays in January on the Movie Channel.
Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs.
At the 1991 Cannes Film Festival, one film made history and made them throw away the rule book.
La Palme d'Or a été décernée à Barton Fink de Joel and Ethan Coen.
What kind of work do you do, Barton, if you don't mind my asking?
Well, I'm a writer, actually.
You don't say. That's a tough racket. My hat's off to anyone that can make a go of it. Damned interesting work, I'd imagine.
Can be. It's not easy, but...
Damn difficult, I'd imagine.
And what's your line, Mr. Meadows?
Hell no, call me Charlie. Well, Barton, you might say I sell peace of mind.
Ready for release in 1994 is the Coens' latest, a reworking of It's a Wonderful Life called The Hudsucker Proxy.
1 month ago, Norville Barnes was just a keen young hopeful from Muncie, Indiana, up in the big city looking for his first chance. But just as Norville walked into the Hudsucker building, the president of the company was planning his final exit. From Joel and Ethan Coen, the creators of the award-winning Barton Fink, and Joel Silver, the producer of Die Hard, comes a mysterious and magical comedy, The Hudsucker Proxy.
All right, try it again.
But the reigning Prince of Darkness remains Tim Burton. His wacky expressionist stylings may recall the work of filmmakers Robert Vine, George Franju, and Dario Argento, but his connection with the...
People use the term fairy tale now as sort of like is only good, you know, and for children, or you know, leading a fairy tale life, which means only good, and which is, for me, not what's looking for, like, you know, in life, like the clear cut. And the reason I loved this character and what this was about is that it's what I feel, at least all the time, which is the mix of things. It's, you know, it's the good and the bad and the light and the dark and the funny and the sad, like completely all mixed into one thing. It's always difficult for me to pick apart and say, oh, I'm just happy or I'm just sad. It always seems like one big mass.
Comes to making the sequel to one of the most successful films of all time. Only Burton has the Hollywood clout to make a film as strange and darkly poetic as Batman Returns. But does the visionary director feel the pressure of always being expected to come up with the unexpected?
It does create an odd sort of dynamic. I try to not let that affect me. I try not to think about it. I would never target anything for anybody, because I guess that's why I don't analyze myself too much, because I never want to get to the place where I think I ever know that kind of stuff, you know, because it's dangerous, and I know that I don't, and nor does anybody else.
Now, Burton's creative mind has taken him back to where his career began. Disney gave him his start as an animator and director of short films in the early 80s, and the prodigal son has returned there with the bizarre yet beautiful puppet animation project The Nightmare Before Christmas, due here at the end of 1994.
Merry Christmas! And what is your name? That's all right. I have a special present for you, anyway. There you go, Sonny. Oh.
And what did Santa bring you, honey?
Merry Christmas!
It's in the darkness, on the edge of Tinseltown, that you'll find the hippest of today's directors. Filmmakers with a prodigious imagination, a poetic bent, and a wicked sense of humor that make their movies unpredictable, slyly subversive, and timeless. This month, Sky Movies, the Movie Channel, and Sky Movies Gold beckon you into the shadows with the Gothic Gang, who are gradually turning the big screen black.